My goodness, we finally got some good news for esports as Hastr0 is officially back. He is no longer with OpTic as of him tweeting out this past weekend, will no longer be a shareholder for the company, and it seems the once merger back in late 2021 between Envy and OpTic Gaming has now subsided, and Hastr0, after a long absence from the internet, is officially back and bringing with him Envy, the Dallas Empire, and the Dallas Fuel. A tremendous announcement this past weekend that I don't think anyone saw coming, so the return of Envy is finally here. And if you guys forgot about this, I believe it was back in November of 2021 where Envy really had saved OpTic Gaming at the time. Apparently Hastr0 had found a group of investors, had teamed up with Hex over at OpTic, and of course it eventually tried to acquire that 12th CDL spot, had a great branding back in the day with the Dallas Empire, which was a beautiful brand in the Call of Duty League that apparently will also be back. And then it was Hastr0 taking a lengthy break from the internet. He kind of took a step back. I believe he was announced as like the chief gaming officer, but then at one point had deleted all of his socials, went real quiet on things like Twitter and social media, and then eventually kind of came back to some inklings and hints in recent times here, but he was really gone for a while, and people were like, what's Hastr0 doing? I knew he had some side projects and he was doing things here and there, but it was odd how quiet he went. And so now with this announcement, Envy is back in esports. I'm not sure what investors are alongside Hastr0, what the details are on him getting this brand back. I'm sure it wasn't free. I'm sure it obviously was not easy. And with that, also announcing the Dallas Fuel, once one of the bigger brands in the Overwatch League, which has since gone away, but we still have the Overwatch Championship Series, and the Dallas Empire, which in my opinion, alongside some of the top brands, was one of the best CDL originated brands ever built in the entire league. That is now also back under his control, and they've also swiftly entered the Apex scene right away by announcing their roster, which is pretty crazy. I believe it's the X-Bleed team, so we'll see how they do in ALGS. But it's crazy that out of nowhere, Hastr0's just back. He's no longer a shareholder in OpTic, and I think a lot of people are wondering, what's the story here? You know, what is Hastr0 going to say about this? What is Hex going to say about that? What's their friendship and business partnership been like these past few years? And what really went down where you had Envy take on OpTic and they had this merger, and then as people expected, the Envy branding kind of went to the wayside because OpTic's branding was more popular and still is, if we're being honest. So slowly but surely this merger of Envy and OpTic really just became OpTic Gaming, and Hastr0 and Envy kind of went back this way, as you have this kind of relationship where you got to decide who stays in what, and obviously the OpTic branding was pretty dominant, and then all of a sudden he is now back. OpTic's still here, Envy's now back. What amounts were paid or owed, I don't know until they tell us more. But for now, I'll just be excited because we don't get too much good esports news nowadays, but we have the past few months, and I would say the past year had some really bad news, but also some really great news. Some independent, I would say smaller groups of owners out there. Jason Lake getting back Complexity back in early 2024 as FaZe Clan went a separate way. And then, of course, we have this with Hastr0 getting Envy back in 2025. Who else are we going to see come back in this wild world of esports? And of course, I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure Hex will talk about this. I'm sure Hastr0 will as well. We'll just see who is willing to give maybe some of those juicy details about this transition and about the transaction that is now taking place with Envy officially returning to esports. What do you guys think about this? Till next time, take care of yourselves. All right, drink up. All right, stay caffeinated, and I'll see you back here in the morning. All right, take care.